Logan Paul has just tweeted, new Pokemon video this Wednesday, largest purchase of my life. Shreddy's reaction, fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars, let me play. So I just wanted to do this video today to talk about this tweet from Logan Paul. He had a massive impact on Pokemon in 2020, towards the end of 2020. He did the first edition base set booster box opening, he bought the first edition Charizard, and he did a video preceding all of those things to say he was getting into Pokemon, he was going to be investing. He was messaging a ton of people on Instagram. I was in touch with him. He got in touch with me last year off the back of a base set booster box post that I put on Instagram asking to buy it. Didn't sell it to him, but he obviously went and bought a bunch of base set boxes, was opening them up. And for people who were looking to sell, or people who had long-term investments from 5-10 years ago in Pokemon, and for flippers, it was a good time to be in the Pokemon game. The prices in October went mental, like proper mental. Now, he divided the marketplace completely. Some people hated the fact that Logan Paul was coming in. Some people, and it's just funny to me because it's such a split reaction. Like, I'm a massive wrestling fan, and when I see John Cena come out and half the crowd loves him, half the crowd hates him, I love that stuff. It's absolutely class. Logan Paul is the John Cena Pokemon card collecting. People love him, people hate him, and I'm just here sitting on the sidelines, just looking on, and it's like, it's mental. It's incredible. That's what it is. So he is announced or tweeted that he is putting a new video up on Wednesday, today when I'm filming this. It's going to be going up the day before his video does. And I put up a poll on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, the link is down in the description below, asking what people thought he was going to buy, and I had a 51-49% split on what he was buying, and there was close to 300 votes on that poll. The two options I put up was the illustrator Pikachu or a complete first edition PSA 10 base set. It could be neither of these things, but I just thought those were two kind of common things that would be interesting to put out there. It could be a bunch of booster boxes. It could literally be first edition of every single base set booster box out there. Not base set booster box, it could be first edition of every WotC booster box out there. It could be every single booster box ever. At this, until Wednesday, we're not going to know what it is. But I want to make this video just to talk about the impact that this is potentially going to have. And I'm basing this on what we saw last year. Last year, as I've just mentioned, prices spiked. Literally, Pokemon was going to the moon, stonks, whatever you want to call it. It was erect. It was an erect marketplace on Viagra, and that shit didn't go down for about 3 weeks or something like that. The prices were high, and then end of October, November is when we started seeing the dip, and that's when a lot of people were like, oh, Pokemon's dead, there's a crash, blah, blah, blah. I actually made a video around that time, again, just laughing, because I say all the time, Pokemon can go down, Pokemon does go down. I've seen it go up, I've seen it go down, despite what people will tell you. And it was just funny that, like, we actually saw those prices come down, we saw it spike, we saw it come down, and you just got all these people on the sidelines, you know, loving it, hating it, and I just find the whole thing funny. But obviously I've got my opinions as well. So what do I think is going to happen based on what we saw last year? So, depending on what it is he's bought is obviously going to depend on what is going to be happening to the market. Assuming it is something like booster boxes, vintage booster boxes, first edition booster boxes, something like that. It could see, I mean, he could be buying them to keep as his collection. He could be buying them to announce he's doing more box breaks. He has tweeted about the first edition. IGN posted about the first edition booster box selling. First edition base set booster box selling a few weeks ago, and he tweeted saying he can't wait for his next box break. This video could possibly be that he's got all these new booster boxes, he's going to be doing more box breaks. If he's doing more box breaks, what we saw in 2020 last year, I think it's going to be dwarfed in this year. That's what I think. Pokemon 25th anniversary, we're going to be getting more mainstream attention, more mainstream media just covering Pokemon this year as the franchise, as the year goes on, and as Pokemon's doing more stuff for the 25th celebration. We're going to see more stuff. But if you can factor in something like a Logan Paul with his influence doing box breaks again, we're going to see more demand this year, I think. I already covered a video about Gary V, what he posted on Instagram or Twitter about 2 weeks ago. Again, link down below. But I think if we do see box breaks, we're going to see much more demand for Pokemon in 2021. And I think this demand could be higher than what it was in 2020, especially if we see multiple box breaks rather than just the one-off special event base set first edition box that he did. If that is the case, then I think we're going to have a bunch of casuals, people who, when I say casuals, what I mean is people who are looking to make a quick flip, some people who are just hearing about, oh, you can make money in Pokemon, exploring it and want to jump in. And those people who like Pokemon when they were younger, they might be younger than me, so they might have grew up on Generation 3 or Generation 4. But people who like Pokemon when they were younger, kind of forgot about it, kind of grew up, kind of moved on. But now they're seeing, you know, Logan Paul mention it and other influencers mention it, and then they're going to come back to the hobby and jump back into collecting. It's the investment side, and Logan Paul emphasised that he was getting into Pokemon as an investment, and that is truly what drove up the price of those vintage cards last year, because he was investing in them, pushing that content, pushing that message out to his followers. So as you know, by default, his followers also thought, oh, okay, then he's investing in it, I'm going to jump in, I'm going to try and invest, see if I can make some money. What else could it mean for the market? Well, if you've got more casuals jumping in, looking to make a quick flip, then modern is also going to be affected. And again, factoring that 25th anniversary, even if Logan Paul isn't featuring modern Pokemon in his video, which I don't think he will be featuring modern, I think if you've got all these casuals jumping in, they're going to see, bloody hell, there's people making a fortune flipping modern Pokemon products. So you're going to see more demand for modern product as well. I covered it in my last video about the Evolutions box prices being like $1,000. Is it a justified price or not? Link down in the description below to check that out. But if we're getting more people into the hobby, that demand is going higher. At the minute, because of lockdown restrictions, pandemic restrictions, logistic cutbacks or logistic drawbacks, because of everything that's going on in the world, it's hard to get hold of product at the minute. It's hard to get hold of brand new product at retail. There's not, in the UK, all the shops are closed minus, you know, major supermarkets. You're walking into Asda or Tesco, they've got nothing in, like, so by putting even more demand into the hobby, but more people coming into the hobby, that's going to blow up as well. Now, I don't want this video just to seem like I'm hyping things up, because I've got no real reason to hype things up. Yes, I've got some expensive cards or some valuable cards, and yes, if the market went up, I could sell them and, you know, profit from that. But my collection, in all honesty, compared to some of the whales out there in the market, it's like a drop in the ocean. So I don't really have any motive kind of to kind of hype the prices. If there is going to be a big spike, will I sell some of my collection? Potentially. I mean, I might cash out and sell some of the more expensive things I've got, because what we saw last year was this big spike, the prices climbed, and then what did we see? The fad, the phenomenon, the popularity, the buzz died down, and prices dropped back down. Don't get me wrong, this wasn't a market crash, because the prices in that November time were still way higher than what they were in January, February time. So when you look at things long term, this is what I always say on the channel, long term, I think Pokemon is going to go from like here on the graph, this is pretend it's a graph, here to here, for argument's sake. But along the way, ups, downs, ups, downs, up, downs. Pokemon will go up and they come back down. So we saw last year the spike, the drop. I anticipate the hype around Logan Paul. Whether you agree with me or not, this is my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I think he will bump prices again, just because he's got such an audience. That's basically it. He's got such an audience. If he mentions the word investment in a Pokemon video or making money in a Pokemon video, people are going to jump on us. So if it's anything like last year, we'll see that super high demand, prices climb, but then we'll see them drop back off. The only way that the prices will sustain for a longer time, in my opinion, is if he's going to be putting out regular Pokemon content, as in he's going to announce on Wednesday he's going to be doing box breaks for the foreseeable future, or he announces, I don't know, one box break a month for the rest of the year, whatever it might be, just as an example. if he's going to be pushing content more regularly, then his followers will kind of see, okay, this is a long-term deal, it's not just a one-off little fad, and they'll kind of follow with him. And again, this is just the influence he's had, this is just, you know, how influencers work. You may not be influenced by these kinds of people, I'm not necessarily influenced by these kinds of people, but we have to accept that they are called influencers because they do influence a group of people. So if I personally feel we're going to see a spike and then we're going to see a dip, then why not ride that wave, cash out at the top, and then ride the wave back down, and then buy those same cards, the same product, at a lower price. Now, that sounds so simple to do. That's like living in a perfect world. We know exactly what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. We didn't know prices were going to spike like they did with Logan Paul. We didn't know prices were going to climb like they did in 2020. But if my gut's kind of telling me we're going to see an increase, then we're going to see a drop, then I'll probably follow that through, and I may sell some products, and then I may buy some product back in. Will I do that? At the minute, I don't know. I want to see what his announcement's going to be. In this hypothetical scenario, and this isn't advice I'm giving you, it's just a hypothetical scenario. If that was what was going to happen, and you knew that prices are going to go up, prices are going to come down, it's pretty obvious what to do, right? What else could he be doing on his video though? He could be buying an illustrator Pikachu. Steve Aoki has just bought one of them. He could be looking to add one of those to his collection. He could have bought the Protest toys. In all honesty, at the minute, we don't know what he's going to do, but it's going to be fun to see what it is. For me, it's going to be fun to just see what the reactions of people are, because like I say, he just splits the audience so much, and people hate, like people on the Facebook groups, people hate the fact that someone with money, someone who's successful in life, is coming into their hobby and shouldn't be allowed to buy their Pokemon cards. Look guys, whether you like it or not, anyone can come into the hobby, anyone can buy cards, anyone can sell cards. Yes, you might not like it, but to say that they shouldn't be allowed to do it, or to criticise someone for buying cards, like, I don't know, I just don't understand that mentality about kind of gatekeeping to say who should or shouldn't be allowed to collect Pokemon cards. It's all a little bit bizarre to me. But yeah, I'm looking forward just to see, you know, like, I think deep down inside I am like, I am a little bit, not a troll, but like I do enjoy just seeing that reaction and that interaction between people. So it's going to be fun to see. Pokemon was red hot towards the end of last year, and I genuinely do believe Logan Paul added to that buzz. Again, this isn't hyping up Logan Paul. I'm not a Logan Paul subscriber. Before he entered Pokemon, I genuinely didn't know who Logan Paul was. But the impact he had on the market, like, it cannot be denied. And if it creates more buzz and popularity around the hobby, then I think it's all good. So the more people interested in the hobby, for me, it's not a bad thing. Hopefully, long term, it helps, you know, the hobby grow, and yeah. So, in summary, what does Shreddy think is going to happen as a result of Logan Paul getting back into Pokemon in 2021? I think we're going to see more people enter the hobby. I think we're going to see a bit more buzz around the hobby. I think we're going to see prices climb. And outside of that, we need to wait to see what he's actually put in his video before we can speculate any further. I upload Pokemon market videos and Pokemon card collecting videos on a regular basis, so hit the subscribe button to see more of those videos from the jacked, stacked serial thriller of Pokemon card collecting. If you enjoyed this video, then please do mega punch that thumbs up button. And I'm genuinely interested to hear what you guys think about Logan Paul and this new video he's going to be uploading, and what impact you think it's going to be having on the market. Whether you like him, whether you dislike him, whether you liked what he did last year for Pokemon, whether you disliked it, please do drop it down in the comments below and let's chat about it. But until next time, remember that Pokemon card collecting ain't no gimmick, it's a lifestyle. If you're just getting into collecting Pokemon cards and are looking to do it for cheap and on a budget, then check out the video that's on screen now. I hope it helps you. Let me know if it does.